Can you believe that the 2024 NBA season has started already? Yes, the NBA season just started, and it's just hard to believe that in the middle of the NFL season, the NBA is on board now, and now there's not going to be much talk about the Blazers while I'm in the middle of the NFL season. I'm definitely going to be talking about Blazers stuff down the road, and some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are the Blazers that I have met in the past. There's not many, but I have met a few Trailblazers, and I'll share that in a video down the road. And I'm going to be talking about some of their jerseys that they have got. And when I say their jerseys, it's like from the start of their franchise to now. And what do I think of some of the jerseys that they have out there, some of the jerseys that they had, which ones are my favorite? That's probably going to be another topic. But what I wanted to do was just go over the roster of the Blazers. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single player on the roster, but just some of the guys that are on the roster that could have an impact on the team down the road. So, without further ado, let me get into some of the players. First up is last year's rookie, Scoot Henderson, and he was an interesting player to start the season. He struggled at first, but he started to pick his game up, and he played 62 games. He averaged 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. And a lot of people think that he could be their future point guard. Next up is Anthony Simons, and he also is a point guard, but he's also a shooting guard as well. And he's their longest tenured Blazer. He's played 6 years, all with the Blazers. He's 6'3", 193, and his career average is 14 points, 2.5 rebounds, and almost 3 assists. And he really is going to be an interesting player. He had a good year last year, but he's also at the point to where he's not sure if he wants to stay with the team or if he wants to be dealt to a winner. And I really do like Anthony Simons. He has gotten better each year, and especially when Damian Lillard was traded before last season. But I can also understand why he wants to perhaps go somewhere else and be with a contender, because that's what Damian Lillard did. Next up is DeAndre Ayton, and last year was his first year with the Portland Trailblazers. His previous years was with the Phoenix Suns, and he actually was a number 1 overall draft pick, and he was in that mix of the Damian Lillard trade, and there was a 3-way trade, and he was part of that trading piece. But he's averaged 16.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. He's 7 feet, 247 pounds. Then there's Matisse Thybulle, and I really liked him. He's really a good player. He's been in the league for 5 years. Last year was his first year, or I can't remember. I think it was last year or if it was the year before. He's played 1 or 2 seasons. But he is not known for his scoring prowess, but he is a solid defender on the wing. He's only averaged almost 5 points a game with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. But he is a phenomenal wing defender. The next player is Denny Avdia, And he was part of the Washington Wizards last season, and he was part of an off-season trade that brought him to Portland. And I cannot wait to see what he can do. He's only 23 years old. He's 6'9". He could play either forward position. He could play the small forward or he could play the power forward. But he's averaged almost 10 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, and 2.5 assists a game. And people are saying that his stats has been climbing each year. And so I really cannot wait to see how he does with this team. And I think he is going to be one of the starting forwards in the lineup for this season. The other guy I think that's going to be in the starting lineup as a forward is Jeremy Grant. Now, he has been with the Blazers for 3 years now. Was it 3 or 4? I can't remember. I hope you guys can help me with that. But he's played 10 years in the NBA. He can score. He's averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 assists a game. And him and Denny Avia are going to be a good front court duo. Next up is guard Shaedon Sharpe, and he came out of Kentucky, and he is a dynamic player. I really like his game, and he just seems to get better and better each year. He's only 21 years old. He's 6'5", and he could be one of the starting backcourt duos along with Scoot Henderson or Anthony Simons. I think there's going to be a rotation of those 3 guards. And he could play the small forward as well. So this guy is dynamic. He's averaged 11.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and almost 2 assists a game. Unfortunately, he is not going to be part of the season because he has a labral tear in his left shoulder. And so he's going to miss a couple weeks of the regular season to start. And I really hope that he is not injury prone because he was just dynamic last year. He was injured last year. They decided to bench him for the rest of the year so that he could recover. And so I am really, really hoping because this guy is just phenomenal. When you look at his highlights and the things that he has done, it's just incredible. That guy is an elite athlete, and a lot of people say that he could be a good all-star player. In fact, some say he could even be a superstar, but his injuries, his chronic injuries, really, really concern me a lot. And then there's Donovan Clingan, who was their first-round draft pick this last season. He's 7'2", 280. He came from the University of Connecticut to help them win the NCAA tournament for 2024. And people are loving this guy. In fact, I did a video about this draft pick. Go check it out. I think he's got the caliber of being a good player in the post. I really like this guy. I'm glad they got this guy because he is just wanting to play and he's wanting to do what it takes to help the team win. Then you have forward Toumani Camara, and that guy is a surprisingly outstanding player. He's 6'7", he's 24 years old. He's averaged 7.5 points a game, almost 5 rebounds a game, and a little over an assist a game. But he does what Matisse Thybulle can do, and he really knows how to defend the wing as well. And so this guy really knows how to play. He is an outstanding defender. He's got a lot of upside. I cannot wait to see how he does. And then there's Robert Williams III, who is a very talented forward center. He can play both the power forward and the center, but the problem is his injuries. he is injury prone, but when he is playing, he's dynamic. He's 6'9", almost 250. He's averaging 7 points, almost 7 rebounds, and 1.5 assists for his career. But we did not see him as a player for the team because he was injured. So those were some of the players that are part of the rosters. Now there's other players that they have on there that are probably going to get some playing time because of some of the injuries. Like I said earlier, Shaedon Sharpe is going to miss at least a couple of weeks of the regular season to start, and they're also without their other player, Matisse Thybulle. He's out, and he's going to miss some time. Not much. He'll probably return about the same time that Shaedon Sharpe returns. But if these guys are healthy, and I really liked what I saw with this group last year, they played hard. They just got after it. Now, they did lose a lot of games, so how are they going to do this year? Well, that just remains to be seen. I really, really want them to increase their win total. I really do. A lot of people are saying, well, they may tank another year. Well, why? They've got the pieces. Some people say that there is a couple of number one draft pick prospects, but when you try to go for a lottery pick, it usually does not work out. Last year, the Detroit Pistons were the worst team in the NBA, and they did not get the number one draft pick. In fact, I think they got the number 5 pick or the number 4 pick. So it's not worth it. You got to play to try to win. And the status of head coach Chauncey Billups also remains uncertain because they did not renew his contract. He's in his 4th season of his NBA contract with a 5th-year option, so he could be coaching for his job this year. So they need to try to play to win. I really hope that they try to play to win. I want them to try to play to win because they've got the pieces. It's just they don't have the experience. And so for that, I think, how many wins would I like them to get? I would like them to get somewhere in the 25 to 30 win category. They'll still be part of the draft lottery, but they could also be in the category of competing for the play-in tournament. So that's where I want them to be, is to compete to get to the play-in tournament. I want to see that kind of progress, and I'm sure many Blazer fans, like I feel, want the same thing too. I want to see progress, and so that's why I'm hoping for 30 wins, maybe 35. Like I said, this is a young, inexperienced team. They have the pieces. They just need the chemistry, and they just need games played, and especially with Shaedon Sharpe. I really, really hope that guy is not injury prone, and I just want him to succeed. He is one of those players that has the potential to be an all-star, if not a superstar. That's just what I see with Shaedon Sharpe. As far as Scoot Henderson goes, I don't know about what his status will be as a second-year player. He did improve. He struggled to begin the NBA season because I think he just had no clue what it took, but he got better. So I want to see him take that next step. And I don't know if Anthony Simons is going to stay with the Portland Trailblazers, or they could even move Jeremy Grant. There's been talks about him being moved to another team. So there's still some uncertainty with this team. I hope that they just compete and not give up, and that they can get some of these lucky breaks to get more wins, because I want them to take that next step up. And so that's where I am with this team this year. So I'll be giving my weekly recaps as to how they did each week. And so stay tuned for that. And that's just how what I want to see happen with the Blazers for the 2024-2025 NBA season.